Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. The city's debt was in the spotlight at the recent Swift Current City Council meeting. Discussion surrounded the city's request to the Saskatchewan Municipal Board to approve its debt limit once again at 1.7 times revenue for the period of 2018 through 2022. The 2017 CCA Finals Rodeo was in the spotlight at the Credit Union Iplex for 4 consecutive days of rodeo action. Over 100 competitors from across Canada, the U.S., and Australia showed off their skills in a range of rodeo events. 2017 has been a year of celebration for Canada's 150th, and here in the Southwest, MP David Anderson recognized 34 residents for their efforts in 5 categories as outstanding Canadians in giving back to their communities. Thanks for joining us here today. Swift Current's debt limit is once again in the spotlight. We have more in today's top story. The city's debt was in the spotlight at the recent Swift Current City Council meeting. Discussion surrounded the city's request to the Saskatchewan Municipal Board to approve its debt limit once again at 1.7 times revenue for the period of 2018 through 2022. Kathy Hoffner is the GM of Corporate Services for the city and says this is a standard procedure they go through every 3 years to have this discussion with the province. Hoffner outlines the city's current debt limit for its capital budget plan and forecast spending for the next 5 years.
It's approximately $115 million. Currently our debt limit is $110, so it's an additional $5 million. When we forecasted our capital for the next 5 years and included the amount of debt payments that we are making, our debt will basically stay the same within $5 million. So we're not expecting to use, the full amount of our debt limit.
Mayor and Council also approved a second request to borrow for capital investments in the amount of $7.3 million, covering projects approved in the 2017 budget, including such areas as water, wastewater utility, solid waste utility, and general government. Costs which will eventually be recouped in the following manner.
And I use general government as an example. So the $4.944 million that was approved this evening was approved in the 2017 budget, and our taxes were increased accordingly to make the principal payments associated with that.
Once the numbers are all tallied, Hoffner says the city's debt will decrease in 2018.
And this will include the debt that will be required when the 2018 budget is approved. We're still forecasting it to decrease $3,741,000 at the end of 2018. So yes, in 2017 our debt did increase year over year, but in 18 it will decrease. It will bring it to approximately $60 million.
More information on the discussion surrounding the city's debt is available from City Hall or through the minutes of the October 23rd meeting posted online. The CCA Finals Rodeo is another success in Swift Current, with crowds filling the stands over the 4 days. The city of Swift Current was the host community for another major event. The 2017 CCA Finals Rodeo was in the spotlight at the Credit Union Iplex for 4 consecutive days of rodeo action. Over 100 competitors from across Canada, the U.S., and Australia showed off their skills in a range of rodeo events, all vying for a share in a total purse of over $140,000. The CCA Finals have been a long-standing tradition for both rodeo competitors and fans, often a stepping stone for many, moving on to international events in Vegas and abroad, while drawing in crowds of all ages.
Your older generation who knew rodeo when it was a little different, but they still appreciate a good bucking horse. And everybody likes to see the bull riding. And there's some good talent in the timed events here, like young talent. And we've always been, however you want to put it, our contestants have always gone to the next level, which is pro from here and had a lot of success.
And as Swift Current is now into its second year of a 5-year contract to host the finals, the CCA is pleased by the move to the Southwest for this high-caliber event.
The town really appreciates the rodeo. There's a lot of rodeos. If you go a couple hours from Swift Current, there's a lot of rodeos in the circuit from here, so you do have the fan following, I find. Like, we've got a lot of young guys from the Southwest, so that's huge. And if you can have it here, I mean, this is a great facility. The town is more than welcoming all the time. And the sponsors have been good, so it's a good fit with the city and the Aganex.
Pleasing words to the host committee and marketing coordinator Lenora Bells, who credits the 500 volunteers and other faces behind the scenes, who worked hard to make the 2017 event bigger and better for the audience.
Well, a few things were different. We moved the trade show over here, and it's a fantastic trade show. And then the only thing was what we expanded on a few things, like having the children come into the novice rodeos in the afternoon. The cowboys and cowgirls contestants were at the top of their game because this is the championship. The stock was fantastic and the crowds were terrific this week.
The CCA Finals Rodeo is a presentation in cooperation with the City of Swift Current, the Swift Current Aganex Association, and its many sponsors. For over 12 years, Southwest TV News has provided the visuals for the defining moments in our community. Support your community and help us to continue our work. Support our sponsors by watching the ads on YouTube and by clicking the ads on our website. Pennies per click, which will help us continue to bring you the award-winning news coverage you've come to expect from Southwest TV News. A number of residents from across Southwest Saskatchewan were honored for their efforts in the community and received a special Canada 150 medal. 2017 has been a year of celebration for Canada's 150th, and here in the Southwest, MP David Anderson recognized 34 residents for their efforts in 5 categories as outstanding Canadians and giving back to their communities here in the Cypress Hills-Grasslands constituency.
We put an open nomination process and we had dozens of responses, dozens of nominees, and we're going to have the ceremony tonight. We're going to give people a certificate and a small medal, and we're just really excited to have people coming from all over the riding to Swift Current tonight to celebrate Canada's 150th.
Jackie Powell of Swift Current was in the spotlight for her 20 years of coaching swimming with Special Olympics on a local, provincial, national, and international level. A humbling honor for Powell.
I grew up doing sport, so it's just it seems a natural fit for me to give back to a group that really banks on having volunteers part of their organization and doing a sport that I love.
Jules Giesen-Stefiak of Gravelburg was singled out for her years of volunteering, from saving the local elevator to now fundraising to transform the old school into an arts and community center.
Well, I see all the opportunities we have. You know, we live in such a great community, you know, and we have so much going for us that I can just not stop. Every time I see another opportunity to do something else, you know, and people need a little push, you know, and when you travel, you see different countries and you see things what they do in different countries, and then you come back and you think, we can do this here, we should do it here, and then I try to get people motivated.
Another familiar face receiving a Canada 150 medal is Tim Geiger, the rave of the RM of Happy Land and one of the driving forces behind the new Leader in District Integrated Healthcare Facility.
For the last 15 years, we've worked for this project, and it's finally coming to fruition. I think the completion date is in the summer of 2018, so that's been a huge project, and it's just so satisfying to have it come about right now.
The Canada 150 medals are unique in the fact that only a few MPs across Canada are honoring local residents with this one-of-a-kind medal. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at southwesttvnews.com. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.